Joining me now is Michael Weiner. Gold is just going up. Popped up over $68 today. $3,829 an ounce. Silver is over $46, headed to 40, almost at $47 as we're talking right now. Michael, you called it. You called it.
I told you when in August, Brandon, when we were on the show, I said September is going to be a huge month. You got the year end of the country, and gold is no longer a commodity. It's a monetary instrument. That's why it moves with markets differently, and we'll continue to do that. I said 4,000 by November 1. Where are we? At the end of the day, I look at 4,200 year end, somewhere around that area. But next year, the 5 number is going to exist. And what really is frustrating is 2 things. People have to understand the gravity of us having a changing financial world, and it's going to be different. And if they don't protect themselves, they'll take some insurmountable backdraw. And additionally, people thinking it's too high. It's a joke. I mean, we said that a year ago in the show, and 2 years ago in the show, gold's high, gold's high. And we keep saying that, and you're going to say it to me next year when it's 5,000. That's all. I mean, either you realize the fact that it has to be involved with your portfolio and that you have to review where you stand and you have to be literally involved with it and take a complete overview of your entire estate, and then, or you're not. And that also goes for retirement plans. You know, you talk about low-hanging fruit. What is the one thing that the government knows about where every single dime is? And that's in gold. Okay? And excuse me, that's in an IRA. I apologize. That's in an IRA. They know where all of the money is in IRAs, 401ks. They know how to get it. They know how to lock it up. And they can do it in less than a minute. They can lock down your account and do what they need to do.
Yep. I don't know if you heard this today or not, but apparently SWIFT, explain to our audience what SWIFT is.
SWIFT system is a system of payment that legitimately is put out. I believe it's, if I'm not incorrect, it's put out as a means of transferring funds immediately in between nations, and it's also being done digitally. So it's the controls on it are very, very sort of unknown right now, and it's sort of like an unregulated world shifting area.
But you can use their platform to make cross-border transactions seamlessly 24/7.
Correct.
Okay, look at this. Have you seen this today? September 29th is the date today. SWIFT introduces blockchain-based ledger. At SWIFT, our mission, this is announced today, has been to continually innovate and elevate the cross-border payment experience. Today, we're taking a pivotal step forward, adding a blockchain-based shared ledger to our technology infrastructure. Okay? We've been talking so much the last couple of years about blockchain and then your ledgers. You know, as you say over and over, we're going from a debt-based system to an asset-based system. And they're using that same term, blockchain-based ledger. They're adding that to their infrastructure. And they're doing this with, I don't know how many countries. It's a lot of countries, like 200 countries. That's what their press release says.
Again, we're heading into a new financial world. And that's why you see gold in the background, because what these countries are worried about is if something like we talked about, poison pill goes into the system here, what are they going to have within their own portfolio that shows them to have any strength? And they don't look at blockchain. They don't look at what's going on with US dollar. They look at gold. That's why gold is a financial instrument, because this whole SWIFT system situation and this whole digital conversation, like with the British, et cetera, is all about control. And it makes it very simple for them to do what they need to do to take control of us. What do you have that is not controlled? And what do you have that cannot be instantaneously destroyed? What can they destroy your money in any of these systems overnight. We talked about people that went to sleep and woke up and their bank account was empty and they had to call the bank and try to figure out what happened. That could easily happen here.
Well,
Easily.
Vietnam, they erased 86 million bank accounts. Gone.
Yep. And this gives them the capacity to do that.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. As the record run on gold accelerates, U.S. gold reserves just exceeded $1 trillion for the first time in history. The U.S. now holds 2.4 times more gold than Germany, the second largest holder in the world. What is gold telling us? Let us explain. Can someone let the studio dog Dolly in for she scratches the door down?
Whenever I'm on, she's got to come in.
She has to come in to hear your wise, sage advice. There's no doubt about that. So the fact that the U.S. has added so much to our gold reserves, does this tell you that we're probably getting close to reevaluation from what, $42 to what, $4,000? What are they gonna do?
There's no doubt Basant made it perfectly clear in March when he took office that he wants gold all repriced and he wants it at the spot market. When that happens, and it's going to happen within the next 6 months or less, I might be out there too far, but when it does happen, this $1 trillion will be, 10 trillion, and it improves the balance sheet of the country and eliminates debt. So it's going to happen. Trump wants to do it. Basant wants to do it. They're going through a whole, people, again, this is a metamorphosis of the entire world financial system. And if you're sitting back in your lazy boy and thinking the world's all great, Donald Trump is proactive because he has to be. Basant is proactive because he has to be. They're freeing you up to be proactive because you have to be. And the question is, are you doing anything about it? That's what's really frustrating. People don't get it. This is not a do-over right now in life. You either take action and do something and balance your portfolio, or you suffer the strings and arrows that go along with lack of commitment.
Okay. So where do you think we're going? If you had to guess, are you updating your timeline at all?
No, I think gold 4,000 by November, by Thanksgiving, or latest. I'm thinking actually the early part of November. It could even get pushed through because of this. They're not going to make this debt deal. It's not going to happen. And I think there'll be a lot of activity around that. And I think also when this communist Muslim heretic gets elected mayor of a city that 3,000 people were killed by Muslim heretic communists, at that point, I think you'll even see possibly some activity at that point because there's going to be companies that aren't saying it, but they're going to leave. So some people will stay, some people won't. So my timeline still stays $4,000 gold by Thanksgiving, 4,200 year end. It's going to be a very interesting period of time we're going to be going through because I believe next year, besides all of this financial change that's going on around us, that the Democrats want to do something themselves to create a financial catastrophe. They're not good. They don't want anything good to happen. They want something bad to happen. And if they can't get it to happen naturally, they'll make it happen. So it's something, we're going to have an election year next year, and that's going to get very interesting. I'll be changing my opinions on how fast gold might be going as the year projects along.
And silver?
Silver is going to be testing its world between $50 and $60. How quickly it moves to 60 will tell us how quickly it goes to 80. We have to watch it carefully. My feeling is silver is going to touch somewhere between 60 to 80, maybe 90. The fact of it going to 100, but only because gold dragged it along for the ride.
Wow. $100 an ounce on gold. I mean, silver. $100 an ounce.
Silver. Possible. Not 200. I know people are running around $200 silver. Nope, not happening. Not going to happen.
Look at this chart. U.S. dollars having its worst year in decades. Look at that. Look at that drop since 2013. Your dollar, folks, has lost about 40% of its purchasing power since I think around the year 2000 is what I've been reading. since the year 2000, lost about 40% of its purchasing power. This year alone, Mike, reports say that the U.S. dollar has lost 10% of its purchasing power this year alone, since January. 10%.
We talked about devaluation and revaluation. They're going to have to devalue the dollar in order to revalue it. And that's going to be tied in again with what's going on with the digital money. And when that does occur, you're going to see the dollar is going to take a slide. And that's why we keep telling people, Wes and I call people and we tell them to pay attention, reevaluate, do an overview on where it is. And some people will say, well, Donald Trump doesn't want to do that. President Trump has to be proactive with the dollar. The Biden administration trashed it. I mean, we were on the brink of becoming a one world currency. And the only thing that stopped it was Trump winning. And now he has to revalue things to bring us back in line. And it's the way life is. And either you do something about it or you don't. What the problem is, a lot of people is they don't pay attention, or their money is in their retirement plan and they expect their financial person to tell them that everything's going to be okay. And as we both know, Brandon, for what happened in 2009 and 10, how many of those same people that were told everything was going to be okay went back to work?
Yeah, they went back to work. And by the way,
how many of them?
We have this newsletter reporting that the largest ETF for gold has attracted $2.3 billion in net inflow so far just in the month of September. That's crazy. $2.3 billion,
Yep.
Michael.
Yep. Well, the cash buyers are a little slow because those are the people who want to make money. When you're buying an ETF, you're betting on the price. That's all you're doing. And there's a lot of people betting on the price. And I can understand that. But doing business with us, we're not about making you money.
Mm-hmm.
God, goodness knows we want to make you money. We're about preserving and protecting what you have. And we are good at it. But if we can only help you if you want to be helped. So, that's the big issue right now, being, proactive versus reactive. And it's just so much on the table in front of us economically right now. And people look at the stock market every day and the market's going up, the market's going up, market's going up. How is it going up when the dollar's going down? A lot of it doesn't make sense. It's going up because of speculation. When there's an adversity in the system, there'll be a correction, and the correction's not going to be massive, but it's going to be strong. It's a big issue.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it absolutely is. Well, it's crazy to see what gold has done just today alone. Up over $3,800 today. About $3,830. Over $68 today, $69. And silver is up almost to $47. So again, you want to get your free packet of information, go to worldviewgold.com. It's not about making money. It's about trying to preserve what you've worked your whole life for, not having it debased, inflated away. Again, just since 2000, your dollars have lost about 40% in their purchasing power, 10% already just this year since January 2025.
Right.
Worldviewgold.com, worldviewgold.com, or you can text Wes your name and number. He'll send out the information to you at 602-558-8585. Find out how to put gold into your IRA, take possession, bullion, or numismatic, 1933 and older. That allows for protection. And you can also do silver.
Right.
All right. We'll talk to you a little bit later in the week, Michael. Look forward to having you with us in town this weekend.
See you soon. Dolly's very excited.
She is.
Communicating.
She's very eager to meet you in person.
See you later.
Michael Weiner checking in tonight. Worldviewgold.com. Worldviewgold.com. All right, guys, that's our broadcast for tonight. Before we conclude, would you consider going to worldviewfoundation.com and making a contribution of any size? We really need your support, folks. Look at all the programming we push out absolutely free of charge. Absolutely free of charge. We need your support. We're a listener-supported network. You'll receive a tax receipt about the first week of February with our EIN number and everything if you make a contribution. You'll also find our phone number there if you prefer to support us through the mail. Or you can use the phone number. Leave a voicemail for Melissa or text her, and she'll get back to you and help you make a contribution over the phone. It's so important that we have your support. So thank you to those of you that already are supporting us. And if you aren't, please consider doing so. Would you? Sure appreciate it. All right. At the very least, you can get those business cards, right? Get some of these business cards. They're free. Pass them out. Tell people about Worldview Tube and all we have to offer. Okay, will you do that? Worldviewstore.com. All right, roll the music, guys. Let's call it a night. Now, remember, I'm going to say it a couple times. I'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Because I know when I'm off the air, people panic. I'll be off the air Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, doing our national conference. And if there's major breaking news, I will come back on. Even if I have to do it with a cell phone. All right. But you'll want to make sure you're registered for the big event this weekend if you can't be with us. Worldviewtube.com/vault. Worldviewtube.com/vault. So next time, I'm Brandon House. May God save America. Take care.